Welcome back. Hello again from Clear Skies Retirement and Jay Kirkwood at Secure Financial Management. My name is Randy Cook. Each week, Jay and I sit down here and talk through some money issues, talk through some retirement issues, talk through some of the issues that you might be worried about and wondering about when it comes to you finally pulling the trigger on your retirement. And that's where Jay can certainly help. Jay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Randy. How have you been, bud?
I'm good. I'm working. My first story here is about gift cards after Christmas. I got 3 of them that are burning a hole in my pocket right now.
I just discovered some the other day from like years ago when I was cleaning up somewhere. I was like, oh, I never used these ones.
Oh, you are the topic of our conversation.
I'm one of those.
I'm one of those. Okay, Here we go.
Yeah.
If you got some gift cards for Christmas, make sure you spend them. There is an estimated $23 billion in unused gift cards floating around out there. Some of them at Jay's house. Yeah, because you can go on the website and you can find out, oh, this one's got $1.43 on it. Yeah, you just put a piece of tape on there.
Well, that's why the companies love them so much.
I know it, because we don't spend it. It's so true.
Yeah.
Of that $23 billion that is unspent out there, $1 billion of it alone is at Starbucks, because Starbucks cards are so easy to give. Now, those cards represent what I would refer to as dead money. The companies have got to keep that in an account someplace. They know that, but by gosh, they love that, where they've got all that unspent money out there. But in many ways, for you, in your wallet, in your drawer, someplace, it's dead money. Now, when people come into you and sit down for an appointment, you're going to make an evaluation of what they've been doing for retirement, their investments, whatever they have, 401k, whatever they have. And there's probably going to be some places in there where you say, this is not doing anything for you. This is dead money. Where do you usually find it?
Yeah. And, it's funny we're talking about this topic, because this is usually the time of year, start of the year, people think about finances, that this conversation comes up the most, and we have people bringing in their accounts or their 401ks. And this is the real problem behind that, right? Is that there has never been a plan or a strategy put in place for this money. It's just been accumulating. Every conversation we have with investable assets before they come here, if it's a 401k, if it's other accounts that other firms we're looking at, we'll say, hey, what's the strategy for this account? And usually, you know what we hear after that?
I don't know.
Crickets. Exactly right. Is it just like, what? Well, I don't know. It was just this way, and so I've just kind of left it go. And I get it. You get busy. Life comes up. This isn't your strong suit. It's not your specialty. So you just kind of like put it aside and create some money. But the losses, you've got to look at losses in a couple of different ways. Not just losses you can have from investments, because you can have losses in investments. You can, right? But it's also the opportunity cost that you've missed out on along the way. If we see people still come in, and this blows my mind, that have money in CDs, and CDs are paying something now at least, but they haven't for the last 15 years, right? CDs, money markets, savings accounts. And it's been there when it's been there since? Since 2008.
2007, yeah, I bet. I knew it.
2008.
Yep.
And it's, hey, I lost a lot of money in 2008. I just put it into a savings. I put it into a CD. I put it into whatever it is. And I've just never done anything else with it. I was scared to get back into the markets. And then when I kind of got the courage to do it, I didn't know how to invest it. So I just haven't done anything.
Right.
The opportunity cost that has been lost with that money, it's probably 100%, right? You've probably missed out on doubling your money because of that. So now are you getting 4% in some money markets? Yeah, but for a long time you were getting 1/100% in there, right? And so you shouldn't be out there investing like crazy, hair on fire. I could lose my money tomorrow. I'm not advocating for that at all, right? But you are still experiencing losses in a way by doing nothing, if that makes sense.
Well, one of the things that people come in with that they want you to evaluate is their 401k. So let's talk about that just a little bit, because people will probably pick 3 or 4 different things where they have their money in. One will probably be an index fund that's kind of market related that will just kind of follow the market. Another might be a bond fund that is supposed to, buffer against that other account going down. And then many people will pick a target date fund. It's kind of an automated kind of thing that's supposed to do everything for you. When you look at 401ks, would you say there are better places for your money than a target date fund or a bond fund? Or would you consider dead money inside a 401k?
Yeah, so there's really two things I want to hit on with that, right? So the first one is the most common answer we hear for. Well, first of all, I said, what is this strategy? How did you get to this point, right? Usually there isn't an answer. Just like, I don't know, I just kind of put a bit here and put a bit there, right? The second most common answer is, well, I looked at the return from last year and this was the highest, so I put it there, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess if I didn't know what else to do, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's probably not the best strategy, right, to be using. So there's that side of it, is there isn't a plan for it. This is part 2 to that. We talk about this a lot on the show as well. Is a 401k is a great tool for accumulating wealth while you're working, right? So not all, but a lot of 401ks will have a match. So I mean that makes perfect sense. Like it's free money, right? Get your match. And then you're younger, invest it aggressively. You're 30, you're 40, you're 45 maybe even. Yeah, invest it aggressively, and you can put it all in the S&P or put it all in growth. Well, once you're 55 or 60, things are about to change. When you retire, you're going from accumulating and growing that wealth to, yeah, I want to grow it, but I also can't risk it too much. I need a bit of income from this. I also need liquidity. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
And most 401ks that we see come through, you've got 8, 9 options maybe. Sometimes people get confused because it's like, oh, I've got 20 options. I was like, well, man, half of those options are target date funds, which is just a mixture of the other stuff you've got in there, right? So, you're not getting extra diversification. You're probably at the point where you should think about, do I need more options than what I'm restricted to in this 401k?
And so what we're talking about here is rolling money into your own IRA from your 401k, and then you have more options and the world is your oyster, and you have thousands of opportunities out there instead of just 20.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The IRAs we open for clients, they've got, it's thousands, I don't know how many multiple thousands of options is. It's basically anything you could want to invest in, you're pretty much going to be able to invest in there. And I would say as you're making that transition or preparing from going from work life into retirement life, you should have a serious, kind of discussion with yourself about, am I really getting enough options, enough diversification, enough exposure if my money's still in the 401k where it used to be?